Our first guest is an author and self-professed nerd from the Bronx. And throughout the years, she's written for magazines, websites, newsrooms, and development for shows and animated movies. Her debut picture book, Myra and the Drawing Drama, tells the story of Myra, a second grader with dreams of winning the school art contest and the adoration of the world. And an almost true story about what happens when adults forget how to think like a kid. Here now to share more, we welcome author Rosemary Rivera. Hello and welcome.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, we're happy to have you. And I got to tell you, I want to admit to being possibly one of those adults. Because I got caught. I got snagged in the book myself. I know it's not published yet, so you guys are going to have to wait until April. However, I got to read the copy, and aside from the beautiful, beautiful illustration and the artwork and the emotions behind the way she's expressing her enthusiasm, I felt like Myra.
Yeah, I could totally see you as Myra, yes. Totally.
This is such a wonderful story, and I know that it's been a while in the making, and I already mentioned that it's going to get published in April of 2023. However, let's talk a little bit about the story and what inspired you to finally tell it, because it's somewhat related to you, isn't it?
Yes, yes. This really was an almost true story in that I was a second grader. I did do a drawing, and my lovely, beautiful teacher, Mrs. Silverman, was the most patient lady, and she took a look at my drawing, and what I thought was one thing was being looked at completely differently by the grown-ups. And I remember it being one of those stories where it was like, if it wasn't happening to me, it would be really funny, but this is really weird right now. And I remember just having that in the back of my head, and as I got older and we were developing concepts, we were going to make this as a short. And then I remember writing it all down and seeing that in there was this wonderful social experiment.
Right.
And when we made it into a book, I wanted to keep that kind of slightly subversive, but reminder that a kid could enjoy it on one level, but then if a grown-up took a look at it, that they would have a different reaction or experience altogether. And as I said to you before, I really wanted this book as a social experiment to be something where if a grown-up took a look at it, they would have a tug of war between their kid self and their adult self.
Right.
And see, if they remember what it was to be a kid and how to think like one.
Well, I got to tell you, I can relate, because I did have that internal, dialogue going on between the little girl in me and the adult in me, and also the timing of it as well. I think everything right now, at least in my world, is about advocating mental wellness. And you definitely touch upon that in this book. And so without giving too much away, there's that dynamic of recognizing that something gets lost when you start aging.
Yes, absolutely. Our imaginations, when a kid, and being an artist, there's also an allegory there about the artist's journey. Like sometimes an artist creates something and then puts it out into the world. It's like, look what I did. And people just have a completely different reaction to what you think you created.
Right.
And so there's also that allegory woven in there. It's a deceptively simple book, right? So when you look at this and you go through her journey, there's several layers. Like when I was a kid, I remember watching these things where it was funny on one level, but then when you were grown up and you looked at it, it was a whole different story. And that's pretty much what kind of manifested.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of manifestation, I love that you chose that word, because I hope I'm not giving too much away, but I am so proud to to serve as one of the manifestations in your conclusion of being that television interview.
Yes, yes, you are. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Yes. Like I told you earlier, Myra and I have been having parallel journeys, and some of the stuff we're going through is what's happening in the book. It's art imitating life, imitating art. It's really trippy.
It is.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, like, when I read it, I couldn't put it down, right? I mean, it's a small book. It's
a
a
quick
children's
read,
book.
yes.
But it was really more about, but I also really took in the art of it as well. Because the way it was drawn, it's you could feel her emotions, right? It's not just like, oh, this is pretty art. This is more of like, okay, what's going on in here? It kind of served as its own storytelling as well, right? And so it was you wrote it in a suspenseful manner that it almost loans itself to being a suspense. A suspenseful drama. And I know you're also having it produced as a play, right?
Yes, it's
already. And it's not even published yet.
Yeah, it's being adapted as a musical right now. And I think that whole mini epic vibe of it and suspense of it kind of caught the attention of a theater director. And they have currently right now, they have quite a few songs. I didn't think you could get that many songs out of something this quick, but they've done an excellent job. It's Vital Theater, and their plans are to open it up later this year. So they're working in earnest, and it's been amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about this dynamic of your partner, your illustrator, Mario J.
Menjivar.
Menjivar.
Yes. It's Latino. Yes. Otro Latino. Yes. He, unfortunately, right now he's teaching animation at SVA, which is where we met, and we've been together since college. And as I said, he wound up working at Disney after college, and he worked on Lion King, Pocahontas, all those like now considered classic movies when people were still drawing by hand. And I was fortunate enough to finally wrangle him and say, vamos a hacer algo, and so we...
Yeah, but the part that you left out in
Yes.
his introduction is that he's your husband.
Yes, he is. Yes. I was like, we could work together. So, so I had to marry him to do that. 24 years.
How many years did it take?
24.
Wow.
For real. For real. But it was worth the wait. We've created quite a few projects. We have also an online comic strip that we created with our son, and that's going really well. And then this is coming out right now, and he just put all his expertise from being at Disney and the emotions and the taking each frame, and when you flip it, sometimes it feels like a flip book, like it could
does.
Animate.
Yes, right. That's what I mean. Like you can actually see the story.
Moving, yeah.
Yes.
So, and again, I go back to the fact that this was written as an animated short. So we were trying to do our best to kind of take a short and put it into a book form. And he did a wonderful job.
So it's being done in steps, right? So
Yeah.
you've got the book, then you've got the play, and then eventually the animated short.
I'm leaving it to the universe.
Yeah. And I think your timing is impeccable because of the messaging that's involved in it. And I hope that leaves you guys in suspense because, trust me, I want to dive in a little more, but it's one of those things that I really feel that you have to allow yourself the experience of getting to the end.
Bless your heart, because you must have seen The Sixth Sense, and you know that the reason that thing worked was because everybody held on to the secret until they went to the theaters, right? No spoilers. So thank you for that, because yes, it is very much one of those, you just got to be there.
Yes, it is. I mean, I'm telling you, when I was reading, I was like, oh my gosh, how is this going to end? I was like, wait a minute. She better win. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. She better win. That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you. Yes, that's exactly how it felt. And that's, like they say, no tears from the writer, no tears from the reader, no fun from, and that's what we did. We try to have a really good time and put that into the book and make sure that, you get something out of the sweetness and the fun of it, that there's a nice chunk of substance in there as well.
Yeah, and aside from the sweetness and the fun out of it, it's educational and it's therapeutic.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for seeing that. Yes. I thought so.
Well, like I said, we're living in a day and age that I think certain styles of communication really need to be brought into the forefront and normalized. Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even if it gives you a
It
jolt.
rankles you, right?
Yeah.
And that's the point, right? Out of discomfort comes growth.
Right.
Right. So, yes, this very deceptive little simple book has definitely gotten us a lot of interesting reactions. But I'm very happy when we got a review from the school library journal and some of the librarians, and most of them have been like, oh, my head turned. I read it once, and then once I saw at the end, I had to read it again. And I'm like, wow, this is really, it's touching because they do see the importance of what we wove into all that silliness and fun.
Right. And you know what? Like I said, it's a great way to welcome certain conversations as well. Yeah. So we thank you for bringing it here first.
Yes,
everyone.
thank you.
Woo!
Why not? The Bronx is my home. I was born and raised, and I was telling people there's no way I'm not going to do a run and not be in my hometown.
That's what's up.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
And that's it. You heard it here first. Right? All right. Rosemary Rivera, everyone, author of Myra and the Drawing Drama, right? Well, for more information on Myra and the Drawing Drama, you can visit moonbearcc.com. Obviously, the book is being published in April of 2023 with a musical play coming in the summer. So you definitely want to check them out.